What's up, y'all? So this is gonna be a quick message. So I just want to encourage you guys to keep in shape. You see, a lot of times nowadays, you have a lot of people to where they let themselves go, even in the kingdom of heaven. You got some people to where they just let themselves go when they get married. They let themselves go when they get friends, and they stop taking care of themselves. And you have to understand that God gave you this body, and your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and you gotta care it. Oftentimes, especially in the Christian church, especially when we talk about a lot of pastors and evangelists, you see you have a lot of followers of Christ who are obese. They're obese, and they're not taking care of their health. Of course, God does provide for us. That's, of course, number one. But we have to understand that faith without works is dead. We can believe in God for taking care of us and supplying our needs, but at the same time, we got to take care of our health. We got to keep ourselves in shape. God gave us this body. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. You got to take care of it. The amount of, I've seen news stories, I've even seen videos of pastors who have collapsed, who have had almost heart attacks, who have had cancer due to all the stuff that they're eating. All the other stuff that all these restaurants are not healthy. You go almost every fast food restaurant, every corner. You got McDonald's, Wendy's, Popeyes, KFC, like all this stuff. It's not bad to treat yourself every once in a while, man. If it's your birthday, you want to treat yourself to a bit of fast food. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you see, eating all this stuff every day, it's not good. It damages your heart, and it could cut your life short. All this fast food, all this stuff has chemicals, high sodium, can cause high blood pressure. This is why so many people, are a lot of time dying young, because a lot of the stuff they're eating is destroying their body. Especially when we talk about the black community, the obesity rate, especially right here in the black community, is not that good. It's high for many of us. It's not good. Like, a lot of people, we just have to take care of our health. We gotta take care of this body that God gave us. Especially when you're a married person, because a lot of times people would think, oh, I'm married now, I can let myself go. I don't need to stay in shape no more. No, stay in shape. What do you mean you ain't gotta stay in shape no more? Stay in shape. Don't let yourself go just because you got your ordained husband, your ordained wife. No, stay in shape. Because even though we don't condone adultery, and adulterers shall have their part in the lake of fire if they die in their sin, but sometimes this is what causes sometimes people to cheat on their spouses. And of course, once again, I'm not condoning it by any means. It's not right. But you gotta take care of yourself, because when you let yourself go, when you just become just a slob, and you gain all this weight, you gain 40, 50, 60, 70, 20, 30 pounds, your partner don't even look at you a lot of times they're not gonna look at you the same. And this is what could tempt people to cheat. And once again, we're not condoning it, but keep in shape especially in your marriage. Stay looking good for your spouse. Stay looking good for your fiance. You want to look good in marriage. You want to look good in it. You don't want to just let yourself go just because you married. No, you want to stay looking good, especially as a woman, because men in general, men tend to like more in shape women. To be honest, let's just keep it a buck. Men tend to like more in shape women. So you want to look good as his wife. If you're a woman, you want to look good for your husband. And of course, if you are a man, you want to look good for your wife. Even in the area of intimate, you want to make sure that you're healthy and you can keep up with them. But nevertheless, guys, keep in shape. Do not let yourself go. I see too many followers of Christ who just especially let themselves go. Whatever exercise you like, whether you like jogging, walking, running, sprinting, you like, treadmill, you like using the exercise bike, whatever you like to do, jump rope, whatever exercise you do, you can name anything, running upstairs, anything. Me, I've done almost all of these exercises. And me, I just like to exercise in general. I got back into jogging. I'm doing different exercises now. I'm looking to do HIIT, Tabata. I'm just looking to do different stuff. Because me, even I put on a little bit of weight. But you see, even me, to be honest, I don't like gaining weight too much. I don't. It just makes me feel, I just don't feel the same. Because I used to be an athlete when I was in high school. I used to be in a cross-country and wrestling team. So I always like to stay active. I don't like to let myself go. When I started putting on pounds, I have to go exercise immediately, or just cut down what I'm eating, because this stuff, I haven't cut off some stuff I used to eat, because a lot of the stuff they feed us not good. Like one burger from McDonald's could be like almost 1,000 calories. That's like so much. And think about the sodium, how much you're going to raise your blood pressure. Like, no, we got to be smart. We got to have to take care of ourselves. We're going to have to cut down certain foods. Even if you like certain foods that's not good for you, like, for example, you like brownies. If you like to eat brownies every day, at least cut it down to like once every 3 days. Do a calorie reduction. Reduce what you're eating. Reduce it if it's hard for you to fully stop. Just at least reduce it so you could, so you could eat less calories, and in turn lose more weight. But stay in shape. Don't let yourself go. So you gotta stay looking good, because it's not good that sometimes we see more people in the world. Like, a lot of times you see more people in the world to where they take care of their body, but you have some followers of Christ, they let themselves go. No, we gotta stay looking good. We gotta stay looking good, because one thing we could say is that, especially right here in America, all the foods that they give us is filled with GMO. They fill all these chemicals and all that. We gotta stay eating healthy. Cut down the fast food. There's almost like a fast food restaurant almost every block you go. Especially if you're in the New York area, there's almost a fast food joint at every area you go. We gotta try to resist all that. Resist temptation. I know sometimes it be tempted, man. I tell you, sometimes you tempted to eat that fast food. You tempted to eat that cheeseburger. You tempted to eat that pizza. You tempted to eat that fries and all that. I understand, man, because trust me, I've been there. Just cutting out certain foods will become a habit. Then once you fully not even want to go back to fast food like that. Like, I believe I heard one of my coworkers say one time, one of my jobs say, that he has eaten McDonald's like 13 years. Like, that's impressive. Like, because when you cut off certain foods, it becomes a habit. And next thing you won't have no real desire to go back for it. We gotta stay eating more healthy, eating more fruits, more vegetables. We gotta start eating more of that. Eating stuff that's fresh for us, that's good for our body. Eat stuff like apples, bananas, carrots, oranges, lettuce, tomato, anything you name. We gotta start eating more stuff, drinking more water, reducing soda, reducing all these high cost, all the stuff that could raise your blood pressure, all the stuff like Pepsi and Coke and all that stuff that's not good for your body. We gotta reduce all that. Reduce the fried chicken, reduce all of that. That stuff is just damaging your body. Get back in shape. Okay, you don't want to be walking around. You don't want to be a person who's walking around. You like 5'5" and you like 250 pounds. No, you want to go down that road, because when you that, all you see looking at is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, blood pressure pills from the doctor, and all you looking at is just a trip to an early morgue if you keep going down that route. It's not good. You even have a lot of kids nowadays to where they're obese. A lot of kids nowadays, they eating all this McDonald's, eating all this Wendy's. Sometimes they don't want to eat their parents' home cooked meals. Sometimes the parents don't even cook. They just give their kids fast food every day, and then they wonder why their kid is not really getting nowhere. They wonder why their kid is getting so much weight, why their kid is already obese and they're like 6, 7, and 8. Because you're not cooking no fresh stuff for them. You're just giving them this high cholesterol, high sodium food like McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King and Popeyes and KFC. No, you damaging your child's health. Your child got to start eating more healthy. That stuff's not good for them. You leading your child down a bad path. You don't want your child to, next thing you know, when they're 13, they're like 5 feet tall and they're like 200 pounds. Nah, man, I've seen obese kids before. It's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight. You don't want your kids having no heart problems and having no weight problems. When you have all that weight and you put stress on your heart, in case, some of you don't know. When you put stress on your heart, make your blood pressure go high, it becomes scary at that point. It becomes extremely dangerous. I've seen some people to where every day they eat fast food. What the sad thing is, I see more young people nowadays letting themselves go there. I see some older people. I see some young people, right? They be like 20 years old. They in my age group. They in their 20s. They in their 30s, teenage years. And they let themselves go. They put on all this weight. They smoke all this weed. Drink all that alcohol. And it make them look old. They could be like 20 years old and make them look like they're 45. Then you got some older people. They're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. They take care of their body. And they look like they're still in their 20s. It's about how you carry your body. You cannot let yourself go. You got to carry your body, man. You got to learn not to let yourself go. You got to learn to take care of yourself. Because a lot of times people want to be like, God, I want my God-ordained partner. I want my God-ordained spouse. I want my God-ordained wife from a man. I want my God-ordained husband from a woman. Listen, you might, God could send that person to you. You want to make sure you in shape. You want to make sure you're looking good when they see you. Because let's say your God-ordained husband see you and you're a woman and you're like 5 feet tall, 300 pounds. He might not even, he might be turned off for you at first. Of course, God could still make it work, but why not make it easier? And it's to be in shape, take care of yourself. Same thing if you're a man. Some men, we talk about they going their own way and they high value men and all that. But you can't be no high value man if you ain't following God, if you let yourself go. You cannot claim to be a high value man if you like 6 feet tall and you like 400 pounds. Nah, that stuff not good. And you gotta learn how to take care of yourself. Look good. Take care of yourself. Stay in shape. Whatever you like to do, exercise, walk, whatever type of exercise you like. Cut down certain foods. This stuff is not good. The obesity rate is high in America. Compare the obesity rate in America compared to some European countries. Like, well, I believe the Netherlands, right? I believe in the Netherlands. There's no real fast food over there. It's mostly healthy stuff, vegetables, fruits, milk. And not only the people over there are healthy, but guess what? The people over there tend to become much taller. Back like a couple decades ago, they were about the same height as Americans. Now they're the tallest average people in the world. The average man over there is 6 feet tall, 6'1". Because they eating healthy stuff, and they eat healthy. The next generation eats healthy, and it just keeps going and going. They can take care of their bodies. Especially right here in America, especially places like down south. A lot of people down there don't like to drive. So nowadays, not only are you eating all this fast food now, but you're not even walking. Compared to like right here in New York, people like to walk and all that. People like to walk. They like to hop on a bus, hop on a train. They like to do all that. You always keep your body active when you're going back and forth. When you're taking public transportation. But those cities where people just walk, and where people just drive everywhere and they don't walk, they don't get no exercise, they don't go outside. Your weight piles up quick. Cause you sitting inside the house all day. You don't even have a treadmill. You don't have a stationary bike or nothing. You're sitting inside the house all day. You eating all that stuff like fried food. Eating all that. That's not good for you. All that stuff is gonna make you put on pounds over time. And quickly you'll be quick to see how fast you put on weight. Cause you're not moving your body around. Always going to take care of our souls, man. Because God gave us one life. We want to make sure that we value it. So nevertheless, guys, do not let yourself go. Stay in shape and stay following the Most High God. Stay blessed, and let this message be a great blessing unto you. Take care.